Y'all know what you're here for. Let's get to that sports talk, baby. And we're today to talk about some sports, to talk about some football, to be back on a live stream. Y'all keep checking the channel out. We start at 7 p.m. The day after every primetime game. So y'all stay tuned in to the live stream. Y'all hit that subscribe button for y'all boys. Y'all keep tuning in to Inside the Line. And like I said, without y'all, it wouldn't be no what. So let's get into this video. Y'all see the title on screen, baby. You see the title on screen. Chargers come back to beat the Broncos. The Broncos failed to clinch their first playoff berth since 2015. Since 2015, and remember that year? We had a Super Bowl that year. I think that was Super Bowl 50 or whatnot. Peyton Manning, after that season,
Yeah.
retired. Yep. So, hey, look, that was one of the craziest seasons for the Broncos, and this season has been crazy. If somebody would have told me at the beginning of the year the Broncos was going to be this good, that their defense was going to be this good, that Bo Nix was going to come out the gate and be one of the top two quarterbacks in the draft, you'd be shitting me, because the way they hyped up Caleb and how talented he is. Yeah, yes, the Bears are terrible. Yes, the Bears are terrible, but nobody thought that Caleb Williams in this offense with Roma Doomsday, with all these guys. Say it again.
You and I predicted that, though.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Nah, you predicted that, but I didn't predict that. Nobody. I wouldn't have thought that the Broncos would have done something like this.
No,
and I'm gonna let you go in a
talking about the Bears. The Bears, I'm saying.
Yeah, the Bears. So
we predicted the Bears.
The Bears pretty bad. But I would not have thought that Bo Nix would be one of the top two quarterbacks in the draft after he was like the last quarterback taken off the board. He was basically there for scraps. He was a bunch of bones collected, thrown in the trash, because we had Caleb drafted, we had Daniels drafted. We had a bunch of guys. Drake May drafted. We had a bunch of guys. Michael Penix drafted before him, and then Bo Nix picked it last, and now he's a top two quarterback. So you got to give him a flowers when you get your flowers. But they couldn't clinch this one. The Los Angeles Chargers go to 9-6, exploded in the second half, outscoring them 21-6, in a route to beat them 34-27. Vance,
this because I got to ask this real quick, because I know you got a question for me. Is this the best division in terms of coaching in the NFL?
Hey man, I think so, and that appeases my question. And this is what I'm about to. And this is my question. And you right up on it, Vince. You right up on it. Who has had the better year, coaching, Sean Payton or Harbaugh? Who do you think has had the better year, coaching? This. And I'm gonna turn this off down
Sean Payton,
and let you
because
get to your point.
Jim Harbaugh has been to a Super Bowl. I get Sean Payton's won it. Even though I thought the Broncos would be okay, I didn't predict this. And here's the thing: Sean Payton wanted Sean Payton wanted Sean Payton wanted this kid.
Yeah,
and we know why.
Yeah, Sean Payton, after the scrutiny he was getting last year with the Russell Wilson situation, that was a bunch of drama. That was a bunch of drama. No here, no say there. They're still paying most of his salary this year, up till this year, and then I think it will kind of go down next year. So we had the whole Russell Wilson saga, whatnot. Bo Nix, nobody really thought that Bo Nix was gonna be this good. Really, Sean Payton was looked for on the hot seat. We had a hot seat segment. Sean Payton, if he did not have a good year, just like if Russell Wilson did not have a good year this year, but both of them are doing good, so they probably get a contract here or stay with their team here. I feel like Sean Payton would have got fired if this team didn't play good this year, and I would think Russell Wilson probably would have got cut or released if he didn't play good this year. So it's a lot of pressure on both sides. And to the question, let me answer it. I'm gonna go with Sean Payton. I think Sean Payton is the better coach in this situation. He had to go over a hill after a hill, climb a mountain after a mountain, and type of situations here and there with his team, with his quarterbacks, the way he's coaching, and then having his defense. Check out the defense, Vance.
I agree with that also
Thank you.
for the fact that you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
I also agree with that for the fact that I don't know why it is. He's really good, Sean Payton, with undersized quarterbacks. Russell Wilson notwithstanding, but he
You're
is
right.
undersized. Drew Brees, I'm taller than Bo Nix. You and I actually both are taller than him. Like he's good with undersized quarterbacks. I don't know why.
Yeah, he definitely is. He definitely
Not
is.
that Bo, not that Bo Nix is
That's a
bad because
good
he's
point
not.
there. Drew Brees a very undersized quarterback.
Not that Bo Nix is bad because he's not.
At the same time, yeah. Bo Nix is a baller. He's been balling out, and Sean Payton has his team balling out. He has his defense ready to go. In this game, it kind of was more of the talent on the back end with Justin Herbert coming into play. The Broncos, they just flailed out. They had a good rhythm going out 3 straight drives with 3 straight scores. Bo Nix, 263 yards and 2 touchdowns in the game. Uh, he played really well at the beginning of the game and even in the third quarter because we had the big play down the sideline with Mims. Then they scored the touchdown right after that. Right after that. So for 3 quarters, Bo Nix, I feel like the whole game he played really well. And I'm a Jaden Daniels guy, but I'm gonna give us respect where respect is due. A lot of things, a lot
Yeah,
of things happened in this game, and I'm gonna let you go in a second. Uh, a lot of things happened in this game. Also with the free kick that hasn't happened since 1976.
saw that.
Um,
Yeah.
a team is allowed to attempt a free kick from the spot of a fair catch if the car catches if the fair catches occur with no time remaining in the half and then it extends the half on a limited down, so they got the kick of the field goal, and wow, he made it. It's kind of crazy.
Where do you stand? Like, because Bo Nix obviously isn't bad, but the one thing I wanted to say, this is a team. If they would have won that game, they would have clinched a playoff spot. So my question I have for you is,
Right.
I believed in Bo since the beginning. You're coming around. Do you think here's I said this you kind of laughed me out of the building the last time I said this, and I want to say it again because I want to get your input. Am I crazy to suggest that rookie of the year is not done? It's up for grabs still. Because here's the reason I say that. Your guy, JD, Bo Nix,
You can go back on
JD,
it.
Bo Nix, Brock Bowers. I don't think it's
Yeah.
set in
Brock is
stone.
kind of out of that because yeah, I'm gonna say Brock. I don't think Brock Bowers has a chance at all because
He's the best
Bowers had
rookie
a crazy year.
receiver.
Yes, he's had a really good year. I'm not. Yeah. He's had a really good year, and I give his respect where respect is due. But look at his team. His team isn't getting wins from him playing that great. And that's what it just comes down to with him with wins. And then plus he has this stacked over top of him, a quarterback
Unplug your mic
position.
and plug it
You're
back
not
in.
gonna
You sound super
usually you're not
robotic.
gonna get it over the quarterback position. Say
Yeah,
it again.
unplug your mic, plug it back. Your mic, you sound super robotic. Like it's like cutting out a lot. If you could try and fix that. I don't know. You
Right.
sound like you're cutting in and out constantly. It's constantly just cutting in, cutting out. It's really weird. It's never sounded like this before. This is the beauty of live shows, guys. Beauty of live shows. So I'm with you. I just was mentioning Brock Bowers, Bud, because of the fact that he's the top rookie receiver. Him or Lad McConkey, I think, are like I think you're right. It is a quarterback award, and it rightfully so. But I don't think it's Jaden Daniels. I don't think he has one hand on it. I think Bo Nix, if both of these kids make their teams better and they go to the playoffs, I think either team could win it. Like either kid can win it. I really do. You could think I'm crazy. I do believe that. I don't think it's Jaden's by a mile. He's the best. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's his to lose. I think Bo Nix could win it. I don't know where you stand. I know where you stand, but I said this previously and you kind of laughed at me and I get why. But now from seeing him, where do you stand?
Am I good or no?
You sound better
Pretty
now.
bad.
Where do you sound? So where do
So
you
is
stand now? Because last
it now?
because yeah, you're good.
Okay, with Bo Nix and this rookie of the year conversation now always pops up. The question always pops up: who's going to be rookie of the year? It's going to happen all the way down to the wire. Bo Nix or Jaden Daniels. And let's be real. Let's talk about the beginning. We got to talk about the whole full season. The Broncos were not good all year. Haven't been. They just haven't been. I don't think the
That's
Broncos
actually
have
not
been
true.
that
That's
good
actually
all
not
year.
true. They actually were. They actually. I looked it up today. They were always good. They just were not talked about the same. There was the expectation wasn't there. Your team, the expectation was there with how high you drafted the kid. Not that Bo Nix was bad, but their expectation wasn't where your team's was. That's
And
why I'm
then
thinking. For me, that's why I don't think it's crazy. Because a couple weeks ago, when I said Bo Nix should have love, you laughed me out of the building. Now I don't think it's crazy to suggest that. I really don't. Because you even mentioned it. You said he played great yesterday.
yeah, we did. They played. He played very good yesterday. I'll give him that. But the 2 games before that, 5 turnovers, 3 turnovers against the Colts, two turnovers in the week before that, and you're a Josh Allen guy. And what was always his fault when it came down to it was turnovers. Jaden Daniels feel like has way less turnovers. He was leading in yards coming up to this, and just like that, I know this
Touchdown
always,
numbers?
huh?
Aren't their passing touchdowns like similar? Like very close? Passing only.
No, yeah, touchdowns are very similar. The Broncos score. The Broncos score when they have 20 touchdowns when they get down into the red zone. As you can see in that game, their offense looked very well to start off that game. Their defense got some turnovers, even in the late rounds. Like I said, Justin Herbert, talented Justin Herbert, and lucky a lucky play by Palmer. You seen the catch at the back of the end zone, and he had his feet all. I don't know how he got
Like
this
the Ravens
football.
type thing.
I don't know how he got this football to come about.
Yeah.
That was a crazy type of game right there. And y'all tell me in the comment section who y'all got for Jaden Daniels
Back
or
away
Bo
from it a little
Nix.
bit.
I think Jaden Daniels. I think I think Jaden Daniels is it still kind of electronic?
He's the front. It sounds super like staticky. It's super weird. I'm with you. I think Jaden is the favorite. I just don't think it's as crazy now to suggest Boas should be in there. I just don't think that's a crazy thing to suggest nowadays. Now, the one thing I will say is this, and he's not going to. But you're gonna agree with what I'm gonna say. He's not going to, but I feel like JD should get more love for the MVP. He's not going to, but he should. I don't know where you stand. What about you?
Sorry, my bad, chat. I gotta get my
That sounds
my
way
my
better.
little
That
my
sounds way
headset right.
better.
My audio.
That sounds way better.
That's way better. Okay, look. I hear what you're saying. I hear the jibber jabber and the talk from the whispers that the Jaden Daniels trophy might get taken away for rookie of the year, and I'm not having it.
Not that.
I'm
No,
just not
no,
having it.
not even that. That's not what I just said. That's not even close to what I said. I said Jaden Daniels should get more MVP love, but he's not going to.
Oh nah. What Josh Allen has been doing and what Lamar has been doing, Jaden Daniels is not an MVP yet, but I can see him in the future being an
For it,
MVP.
yeah.
I ain't that
I meant
deluded.
this year.
I ain't that. Yeah. This year,
Rookie,
at the beginning of the year, yeah, or whatnot. But right now, I'm not putting him in any of those conversations. But he had a really good game. I need to get back to my notes though.
Where do you stand?
And where do you stand on where do you stand on the free kick? Have you ever? We have never seen something like that. 1976. What were you thinking when you came out and seen that on TV? Like
when I watched the highlights and I saw it, I didn't really know what it was until after they said that. I wasn't really thinking anything of it, to be honest with you.
Shovel dump pass.
That just me.
Hey,
didn't.
Yeah, that was that. I thought that was pretty weird. I didn't look when I seen it. I was like, oh, like it's kickoff, right? That's my first initial reaction. Is this kickoff, or they just kicking the ball to them? And they're talking about a field goal. That's probably got to be the furthest field goal.
Yeah, early on, I didn't know what I was looking at.
Yeah, for sure. Like I'm like, what the hell? And then Gus the Bus, he goes off 2 touchdowns. He almost had 3. We seen the breakout run. He Gus the Bus coming down there, getting down and dirty, and he almost had 3 TDs. Those guys, the running game looked crazy, and without J.K. Dobbins, it's pretty surprising that J.K. Dobbins and I mean without J.K. Dobbins, they kind of went crazy and whatnot. My mic still good?
Yeah, you sound way better.
Yeah. Okay. And y'all tell me in the chat. With playoff implications left.
I got a question for you because this is not question more so an opinion. My team notwithstanding, I think the Chargers jerseys look awesome.
Oh yeah, they always that blue with the yellow is pretty tough. I think the pants are terrible.
It just always they're. I think that no matter what they are, if it's the navy blue, the royal blue, the Italy blue as that's called, I think any of the kind of colors mix and match that they wear, I think they all look awesome. The Chargers always have good jerseys though.
Yeah, they do. And with that win, you know what I'm saying, the Broncos still got to get two more. Broncos still got to get some wins on the back end in order to make the playoffs and stuff like that. Yeah, if they would have won it, they would have been in. Chargers, they stay alive, keep their playoff hopes going. And this is my question just a little bit. The Bengals, can the Bengals make the playoffs? Listen to me. Bengals have to win out, beat Cleveland, beat Denver, beat Pittsburgh. Very manageable games. Cleveland, they can definitely win that game. That's a freebie right there. They should handle business against Cleveland, division rival. I get it, division rival, so anything can happen. But they can win that game. Very winnable game. Denver Broncos. I think Denver Broncos is a winnable game for a guy like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and the type of stats they've been putting up this year. Easily, Joe Burrow will be in the MVP talk. 1, 2. It's Lamar, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow. If his record was better than it was for MVP,
the only way they can make it, and this is weird. This is why I don't think it'll happen. Based on your question, I don't think the Bengals. I don't think will make it because the Jags and Colts have to tie.
No, I got this. Let's check it right here. Colts lose one of their next 3. They just have to lose one of their next 3. They don't have to tie. It says Bengals win out. Cleveland,
I read today that
Denver,
they have to tie.
No, it says Bengals win out. Cleveland, have to be Cleveland, Denver, Pittsburgh. I have all right. Colts lose one of their next 3 games. They have Tennessee, they have the Giants, and they have Jacksonville. Which I think the Colts can beat Tennessee. They're terrible. The Giants are terrible, and Jacksonville are terrible. Up for like the first overall draft pick. Those are one of the 3 teams, except the including the Raiders, that should have the top 5 pick in the draft. So, and the Colts they're probably not gonna make the playoffs, but they were in that playoff kind of race. They went 6-7 coming into the last game. So then the Dolphins have to lose one of their next 3 games. They have San Francisco. That's going to be a tough game. I kind of got San Fran in that game. It's kind of thing is about San Francisco is kind of beating me up is I want to pick you every week, but it's just not making sense. It's not. It's you know what I'm saying? Like it's like I can't believe y'all are losing.
I mean, we have 18 injuries. I get it.
Yeah. So Dolphins have to lose one of their next 3, and then the Broncos have to lose out. So that's a lot of scenarios.
Funny enough, no Waddle this weekend.
Yeah, no Waddle. He that is breaking news. Jalen Waddle will not be out there and participate in practice. I don't know what's going on with him. But Broncos have to lose out. That's a lot that has to happen. It's a lot that has to happen here for the Bengals. I don't think they make the playoffs. I think this
as much as I like Cincinnati, and I do because they got a good quarterback, they got good receivers. There's no chance the Broncos lose out. There's no way. The Broncos are too good a team for that.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one.
If the Broncos go 0 for 3, I'll be shocked.
Yeah.
Now, about this. I want to ask you a question because I know you have notes there, but I have one big one I wanted to ask you.
Yes, sir.
If you're the Colts, do you move on from AR?
The thing is,
I know it's early. I'm just wondering. You feel
pretty early.
Move off but the Niners and Trey Lance, and it worked out. That's why I asked, because I know they're not the Niners historically. What do you think?
I think that
Anthony Richardson.
The Anthony Richardson train is starting to. The gas is starting to run out of this train.
You were a believer in him early on.
I just think they know what they drafted, though. The problem is they know what they drafted. They know what they drafted. They drafted a guy who was very young, who doesn't have that much experience as a starter quarterback.
As you worded it, they drafted a less talented Lamar.
Like, and the thing is, everybody seems to be compared to Lamar because he's the best running quarterback in the league. So for some reason, every running quarterback that's pretty fast and has a little bit of an arm gets compared to Lamar Jackson. I honestly think Anthony Richardson and Lamar Jackson are nothing alike. I agree. We gotta put into account leadership. We gotta put to an account arm talent, running ability, the endurance. Like Anthony Richardson has been hurt for the last 2 years. Bitched. Got put back on. He played well in the first, I think it was the first 2 games. Then the next 2 games were terrible.
Let's be fair here. He played Carolina in one of them.
Yes, played Carolina in one of them. He's not that accurate with the football. He will turn over the ball. And we've seen a guy like this tap out of a game. That doesn't get lost in people's memory. That doesn't get lost. Everything.
The locker room doesn't forget.
Yeah, her locker room doesn't forget. Your coach doesn't forget. And for damn sure, you're not going to forget, especially you coming up there and admitting to it. Just because you admit to something, not mean that the whole time that you're going to be looked at as, a guy that's just telling the truth. It just happens like that. It's media. Media always wants to find the little things to talk about.
So you think, because you were a believer in AR early, you don't. So you think that, so if you're the Colts, you would move on.
It's like I want to give the guy one more shot, but I think he moved.
Because here's the reason I agree with you on one more shot. Here's why I agree with you. Who is my favorite quarterback in the league right now?
Right now, Josh.
1-7, right? What was his? You know what his passing or completion percentage was his first 2 years? I got it right here. Watch this. Josh Allen's completion percentage first 2 years. Okay. By year. I have it. Where did it go? Right here. By year. Okay. First year in the league, 52. Second year in the league. Second year in the league, 54. 2020 skyrockets to 72. So he could take off.
It's that marriage. It's that marriage.
Yeah.
He's feeling wonderful right now.
He got
These
engaged
guys,
this year. I'm talking. That was 2020. I'm talking about.
but I'm talking about the progression. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Josh Allen's third year, he took off.
Yeah, he's at his best.
Yeah, 52, 54, 72. He took off. So I'm with you. I think a third year. But do you think Indy will do that? Can they afford? Can they afford to?
I think
I'm with you. They should. Do you think they will?
What did they? I think they should stick with him because what do you have left? What quarterbacks are out there? You want Kirk Cousins? You want to trade for Kirk? I mean, he doesn't look that good. You're not going to get any top quarterback in the draft unless you draft because Ewers is staying. He's not coming out.
Not LSU kid stayed.
Who's that guy from Florida State? Who's that guy from Florida State that just you might can draft him behind him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
Cam Ward, maybe.
Cam Ward's not getting out the top 5. You got guys who need quarterbacks like Jets are up there.
What pick are they?
Not sure. But they're the Colts are definitely not in the top 5. I know that. You look it up right quick. See what.
Did you go back to Flacco?
Hell no, Flacco's done. Get him out the league. It's over with for Flacco. We just been seeing these guys.
What I'm just saying, what he did with the Browns.
The draft, the top 5 draft picks right now are Giants.
Indy's 14.
Yeah, see, they're not getting a quarterback unless they get a late round quarterback like that guy from Florida State.
New England.
His yeah. Say it again.
Giants, Raiders, New England. That's the top 3.
Yep. And Cam Ward can easily go to Las Vegas, and Shador Sanders can easily go to the Giants, and then Travis Hunter might probably be drafted to New England or Jacksonville.
Get Drake May a weapon.
Yeah, get Drake May a weapon. Like I said, you could consider, hey, look, we got a Malik Neighbors, and then we add Travis Hunter, put him at corner, but give him some packages at wide receiver. Keep Malik Neighbors. Yeah, they need a quarterback, but like I said, there's going to be some veterans.
You're the Giants GM. What are you doing? Are you trading for Kirk or are you drafting a quarterback? What would you do?
I'm drafting the best player available and the best player that's been in this year, Travis Hunter. Because I'm going to give you my argument. Because there is some rookie quarterbacks coming out this year, but I feel like there's more named veterans that will be available at the time to be kind of a game manager, a guy that might not turn over the ball, the guy that's going to just needs weapons. I need a quarterback that can do good with weapons. So like I said, with the Giants, I would draft Travis Hunter. You got Malik Neighbors already. Just have Travis Hunter play more corner snaps than wide receiver snaps, but let him play wide receiver just a little bit. So you're not taking away he's not playing both sides. And I feel like Travis Hunter is going to want to play both sides anyway. It doesn't want to go to a team where he doesn't play both sides.
The reason I was asking is because you and I have both said that the Giants are a quarterback away. So you don't think this is the draft for that?
Yeah, I don't think this is the draft for that.
Maybe.
I think they get either Justin Fields, because he's still a guy that should have another chance as a starter. Aaron Rodgers has been playing better in the back end of the year. He still has competent quarterback yardage, touchdowns.
He would stay in Jersey.
Yeah, he would stay right there in Jersey, and then Kirk Cousins will be available. he's not. He's been terrible. Yes, he's been terrible with the Falcons. But he always gets another chance, and he always will get his money in some sort of way. Kirk Cousins just does, and
No,
give him weapons.
Believer, yeah, you're more of a believer in him than I am. Where do you, if you're the Giants, would you look at Cam Ward?
Oh, for sure. I'm interviewing all three players because.
But you don't think they'll take him. You would look, but you don't think he goes there.
I think they go. I think they try to go Shador. The thing is, Shador and Dion will know who are drafting them, and like Dion said, he would step in and say, "Hey, nah, the Giants have been terrible. They haven't developed quarterbacks right, and their team just stinks and looks like organizationally they're falling apart." So I don't know if I want to go to the New York Giants, but the Las Vegas Raiders said they would take me. And that's a historic team. You know, you got the John Maddens.
Giants are 2. They've won 4.
I gotta ask. So and Shador wants to go to the Las Vegas.
Sure. I also gotta ask this. If you're the Giants and you know that you're not gonna get Shador and Hunter doesn't want to go there, now hypothetically, and you're probably gonna call me crazy, would you trade back?
Would I trade back? No. You need a quarterback or you need the best player available.
So if you know you're not going to get Shador, and I'll say it again, you know you're not going to get Shador, and say Hunter doesn't want to go there, what do you do?
And what team are we talking about here?
Giants. Travis Hunter says, I don't want to go there.
No, you're not.
Shador, but I'm saying both the Colorado kids don't want to go there. Then what do you do? Cam Ward?
You probably go Cam Ward, but at the same time, these kids are doing whatever they want these days. They are doing whatever they want these days. So they could do something like that, but at the same time, I think either one of these guys, if they get selected by the Giants, or will be happy to play in New York and want that spotlight and the sponsorships, the big city, the big business, you know,
As
all
someone
that.
Who's a Yankee fan, as someone who's a Yankee fan, I can speak on this. And Dino knows what I'm saying, and he knows I'm right. Dino is no Giant fan, and I know that I'm not either. But here's the thing that Dino does know, because I'm a Yankee fan. If you succeed in New York, they'll love you forever.
You're right.
He knows I'm right about that. If you succeed, if you hoist a trophy in New York City, they'll love you forever. You're a legend in that city.
No, yeah. And he could become a legend. But going to our next topic, Garrett Wilson. It seems like we got some problems here with Garrett Wilson, that he could be requesting a trade. Sure. New York Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson said he was upset by the plays, selections, and timing during Sunday's win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. We've seen what Devontae Adams did in the second half, and Aaron Rodgers and him have more of a combination, you know, over Garrett Wilson. So he just feels like he's not getting the targets he should be getting. Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson becomes eligible for a contract extension after this season. He is signed through 2025 with a 5th-year option in 2026. Wilson wouldn't say definitely that Thursday that he wants to stay with the New York Jets. What do you think about this situation? Will Garrett Wilson request a trade? It says right here that the Chiefs have the best odds to land Garrett Wilson.
I don't think he will, but he should. Now, that jersey he's wearing right there, do you know why they would want Texans?
Because they're losing Diggs.
Not even that. Who's your quarterback?
CJ Stroud. Oh, and yes, they played together. Wow. Didn't even think about that.
No, not even that.
And you're Ohio State guys.
Ohio State, and they were roommates in college. So
I think that's going to be he's definitely going to be up there with that. Texans will be up there. They're losing Diggs probably off season wise because of injury. And Garrett Wilson's the younger player. If we have a chance to go trade for Garrett Wilson, and what 2nd round draft pick that I'm going to use, or maybe even 1st round draft pick that's going to be better than Garrett Wilson that I'm going to draft.
Exactly.
So I would trade that pick easily.
Yeah, I think Garrett Wilson is a younger Steph. The way they play.
Yes, most definitely. I'm 1,000% with you on that. And
who'd you say the favorite was?
The Chiefs. The Chiefs have the best odds of landing him. So if Garrett Wilson, because say the Chiefs are the best landing spot and have the best percentage of landing him, you got the Texans, you got the Chiefs, and then you might throw somebody else in there. I know we need a wide receiver, but we're not trading.
We know my team doesn't need him, but we know how to develop them.
Yeah. So I mean, you always seems like you want to go with the Super Bowl champions. You want to be in winning situations. Think about how many losing years that Garrett Wilson has taken in the hands of the Jets. I think if I'm the player,
historically, the Jets have had one good season.
One good season back when Rex Ryan played. Back when Rex Ryan played.
Joe Namath was a quarterback. So I think, to answer your question, if I'm Garrett Wilson, I would ask for a trade. I don't know if they would grant him one. To answer your question, I don't know about you. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I will want to get out of there after the reports that have been happening around the Jets ownership and the teenager speaking out, giving him the game ball, and Woody Johnson. He's taking advice from his teenage little kids. With
Madden, I saw that. That's
off of Madden rating with Jerry Jeudy, and Jerry Jeudy's numbers are through the roof. He's a top 5 wide receiver. I think he's at number 5 spot in receiving yards.
And he gets better. Who knew?
But Jeudy wouldn't have had this year that he would have had with the Jets anyway. So I mean, it's the Mistion. Garrett Wilson, I expect him to request a trade. I expect a lot of these players that they have on expiring contracts or either trade wise, start to ask out of there, because we start to have dumb reports like this with teenagers speaking in the locker room with your owner.
I don't mean to be rude, because we're all human beings. You're a billionaire owner of an NFL franchise. Why do your kids get to have input? I'm not being rude. I'm serious. I just want to know, why do teenagers get input? And why are you, and more importantly, Dino, I think you'd agree with me on this. Why are you listening to it?
It makes no sense. Maybe he's it doesn't make any sense. I think one of his kids are 15 and 18. We'll have to talk too much about it, because the kids, at the end of the day, that's the problem. Why is my owner, like Ben said, getting advice from little kids, and you have a multi-billion-dollar industry, $1 billion franchise? Like, it makes no sense.
A football team.
I will ask out to, bro. If that's me, I want to leave. I'm out of here. My ownership is, because we see guys like Jerry. Jerry, his some of these years, Jerry Jones, he wins games. Like, he might get a year where he wins games. The Jets, they've had bad expectation year after bad expectation year. It's been dysfunctional.
Yeah, I was about to say that's the definition of dysfunction. Taking advice from your kids. That's literal dysfunction.
And then
be rude, but
yeah, exactly. And put it like this: you fire your head coach 5 games into the year, not expected.
And as we both said, he was not the problem.
Exactly. And they were only 4-2. I mean, they're only 2-4. I mean, you can still make your way back from something like that. You can still get your troops riled up. Like, you gotta give it some time. And then the problem they have with Rodgers, you were going to bench Rodgers, I think, in week 2 or 3. Like, what are we doing here? So you already had said in your mind, if we lose the first game or 2 games, we're done. We're done here. Like that. That's it. Like, what?
The funny thing about that whole situation, what I find so funny, they wanted Rodgers, and then you're going to bench him. It's like, what are we doing?
It makes Makes no sense.
People
Makes
reason
no
the Jets
sense.
aren't good. There's a reason for it. And people are like mind blown when these reports come out. It's like, people, there's a reason this team has won one championship in 60 years.
Nah, for a fact. For a fact. And like I said, y'all keep tuning in. Hit that comment. Hit the comments in the live stream. Let's talk about it. We got Garrett Wilson trade. We seen Bo Nix. Bo Nix had a decent game, but they couldn't hold on. And the Chargers come back at Justin Herbert, who's a real respected quarterback. You got to think about it. The best coach in college football said, "Hey, I want to go coach for Justin Herbert." So Herbert comes back, the talent shows in the second half, and they go and they get a couple touchdowns, and they end the game, keeping their playoff hopes alive. Garrett Wilson asking for a trade. Chiefs look like they might land him. As you can see here in the jersey here, he has a Texans jersey on as of right now. CJ Stroud, him, teammates, back in college, Ohio State, shared the same dorm together. You know, so there you can see Diggs, Hurt, might be on his way out. So they're definitely going to be in the mix. Garrett Wilson will definitely be in the mix with the Texans. There are other teams out there that need to add to their receiving room. Steelers. Who else? A lot of teams need some weaponry, and Garrett Wilson seems he might be available. Y'all tell us where he will end up. Like I said, we got some topics coming up. Y'all stay tuned. Breaking news: Deontay Johnson just got waived. Looks like he's going to be headed somewhere else. Look, Odell Beckham. He made a mutual agreement to be left alone, to be waived, to go find a playoff team. It's a lot of teammates, a lot of players that want to. Yeah.
Miami, right?
Vance, you're back in there. We're back in here. That's what we're talking about. We had some breaking news. Hold on. Let me play the quota. Hold on. Let me play the quota. Give me 2 seconds.
I heard everything. You're good. You mentioned Deontay Johnson, and then you mentioned Odell.
Yeah, Deontay Johnson. But
he got waived, right?
Yeah, he might get waived, man. Okay, Deontay Johnson, how we feeling? Deontay Johnson, breaking news. He is waived. He is gone. He's out of the Baltimore. They suspended him for a game. He said he will not play any type of snaps for this team anymore. Didn't get enough target.
I really don't. They're a good team. I don't get that. What's the reasoning?
I honestly don't, because first of all, he did not. He's one of the guys, like, I put him in the Calais Campbell category. You have the Baltimore. This is the Baltimore Ravens. This franchise is a good franchise. This franchise wants to win.
Historically,
you're part of a winning culture.
Historically,
this is a selfish. This is a selfish player. This is not a teammate player. This is not a player who wants to win games. This is a player who just wants the ball. Yes, this is a player that just wants the ball, and that's and that put it straight. And I'll bet you the Baltimore and different people around that building are talking to other teams. You don't want this guy. You don't want this guy. This is the guy that's not a team guy. This is a guy that we ask him to do a simple task. He's not doing it. So
he's a me guy.
Deontay in advance, what has Deontay Johnson done in this league? Tell me one thing.
He didn't even do anything with the Steelers.
You know what I'm saying?
He did nothing with the Steelers, and the Steelers and Ravens have a culture of winning. You've gone to 2 winning cultures, and you haven't liked either.
I'll tell you what. I'll pick up Odell before I pick up Deontay Johnson.
I don't think I pick up either. That's just me, though.
You wouldn't pick up neither, but of course you wouldn't pick up neither. You're out of there, Vance. You're out of there. I'm talking about playoffs.
I meant any team.
Any team?
I meant any team. Yeah. Odell's flaky too, though.
Odell's flaky, but we've seen in the past what Odell can do in the playoffs. He can get you some 50-50 balls wide open. And he's a team, and he adds something to the team. He adds excitement. You want to play around Odell. Odell, you know what I'm saying? Even though Odell he's kind of washed now, he's definitely washed now. He brings some type of excitement to your team that you just don't know it, but it's there. You know what I'm saying? It's Odell Beckham. You feel me? Deontay Johnson, you have done nothing. You have done nothing to be complaining.
I feel like, you know how a lot of these players always say they have a name for themselves? I've always been of this mindset. Sometimes it's the organization that makes the name for you, not you didn't make the name yourself. If you weren't on the Steelers, I don't think we would know who you are. And I'm not saying that to be rude. The Steelers are a good team historically. They have 6 championships. Baltimore have 2. Baltimore and Steelers are historically their winning cultures. Like, I'm dead serious. I don't think he's good. I think we know his name because he played on 2 good teams. I'm dead serious.
Exactly. I don't think Deontay Johnson. I think honestly, Deontay Johnson was supposed to be. Yeah. He probably might be done. I don't know who picks him up. Like I said, it looks like he will be picked up. We got to figure out who these guys will be given. Like I said, injuries happen. When injuries come down, when it comes down to injuries, and say you're down on some wide receivers going into the playoffs, and every team thinks they have a chance to win the Super Bowl, no matter what. It doesn't matter what the outside people think. Then even if you're the 7th seed.
Where do you see him fitting? That's the question.
I don't know.
I'm honest. Like, I'm trying to be serious here. Where do you see him fitting?
Honestly, like I said, Kansas City is a place for second chances. They give a guy second chances all the time. If you get desperate and your wide receivers start to go down, maybe you do go and look at Deontay Johnson and talk to him personally. Sometimes reports are not all true. We know this, man. Sometimes reports are not all true, even though they are sometimes reported. Hey, let's go talk to this guy, Deontay Johnson, personally and say what went on with the Baltimore Ravens, because that's a great franchise. And you not to see eye to eye, and the thing is, it's not that they just signed you off the waivers. They traded for this guy. They had hopes that you come in to be a factor.
They gave up something for you.
They gave up something for you, so they took a chance on you, thinking that you were a high caliber player already, and you said no. And to think about it, and I got one more point. Think about it like this, and then you can make your point, and we can move on. You were on the Carolina Panthers, like Garrett Wilson. You're on the Jets. They are terrible. Carolina Panthers and David Tepper are terrible. The Panthers are terrible. They're starting to play better now, but they've been terrible. So you would think that Deontay Johnson would say, hey, the Panthers were terrible. I want to be on a better team. The Baltimore Ravens got me. They gave up something. Let me just do what I got to do here. And then in the offseason, I can get signed somewhere else where I want to. It's not good throughout the middle of the year to ask for a trade or to be cut or be the waiver, because you're the only person that people are looking at that's been cut and been wavered. So the whole world knows that you've been cut and wavered.
It's not a good look at all. It's not.
It's not. Say in the off season though, they let you go, then that's different. It's the off season.
Yep.
So I just think it's a bad look on Deontay Johnson. And I don't think
Garrett Wilson point's good. You're both on a bad team. Garrett Wilson's not leaving because he just doesn't want to be there. He's been there for 4 years. He gave you everything he has. Plus, he's a lot better than Deontay Johnson. But I get Wilson's frustration. Absolutely, I do. 100% get it.
Exactly. So whatever it is, they got to figure that out. And he has to figure that out personally, because these teams, they don't have to pick you up. They can easily let you go in the back burner and come as a group. We've seen owners come as a group, go against players all the time. You can come this owner could whisper to this owner could whisper to this owner, and hey, look, Deontay Johnson, you're done. You will not be back in this league. We've seen Kaepernick. We've seen it. Now here,
Niner fan.
David Montgomery opts to rehab MCL injury instead of undergoing surgery with hopes of returning for the postseason. So instead of having season-ending surgery, it seems like the injury isn't as bad as we thought. They might can get David Montgomery towards the NFC Championship, maybe into the playoffs at some point. You know they have the first seed. Eagles play us. They're favored by, I think, 3 points or something like that over us. And I understand they are the better team. They are better than the Commanders. The Lions, with the injuries they have, they can easily take a loss. Don't know who they play next, but the Eagles are right there for the first seed, and we could see if they could get it. If they do get it, that's more rest for David Montgomery. Maybe he can come back on the back half of the postseason and get the most rest he can get. So how do you feel about Sonic and what they call the other guy, the red guy? Sonic and Knuckles. You got Sonic and Knuckles back together. How do you feel about Sonic and Knuckles? Might get another chance. They might get another chance together, Vance.
They should, because David Montgomery, he can take a hit. Like Detroit is a underrated, like not underrated, but they're underrated. Like they don't get enough respect, in my opinion. They are a very, very good football team,
especially off the injuries that they've had. The injuries that they've had, and then overcoming it.
22.
Most in football, and then they still have only one loss. That's crazy. So hopefully they get I don't know which one this is, Sonic or Knuckles. I think Knuckles is probably Montgomery. Knuckles looks like more of Montgomery, and Sonic looks more of Gibbs, because Gibbs is a little faster. Like I said, that's more of a one player to get back. We've seen about Hutchinson. He's in the pool, running in the pool and stuff like that. He's looked to be slated to come back at Super Bowl game. So if they don't make the Super Bowl, Hutchinson might not play. We don't really know if Hutchinson will play even in the Super Bowl. And we had a lot of things going on this week that we haven't even talked about. But you know what I'm saying, that down the line, we might get to it another day and stuff like that. But we ain't got enough time here, 5 minutes to go. We ain't talked about it a lot, Vance. We had Mike Vick. He gets a head coaching job. Tyreek Hill. It seems like he wants to coach too when he's done. Michael Parsons. He doesn't want $40 million. He doesn't want to reset the market. He wants to join a team. He wants to hit a Tom Brady.
Do you think if you're the Cowboys, and you and I don't like them, so this might not be fair to ask. If you're Jerry Jones, would you get rid of Micah?
Say it again.
If you're Jerry Jones, because Micah hasn't proven anyone.
I mean, if he says he's going to take a pay cut,
would you get rid of him?
No, I'm not getting rid of him because the money that he's going to get, I'm going to end up have to pay him that anyways. I think this here, if Jerry Jones, because we know Jerry Jones he ends up getting the guys. He just ends up paying them. The best players on his team, he will pay, and that's the history of Jerry Jones. So anywhere else, Michael Parsons is going to reset the market. So no matter what, his market is set at what he's set at. Yes, he hasn't lived up to the hype, but Michael Parsons does take a lot of blockers on. He does get probably double every play. There's no other defensive lineman on that defensive line that's as great as Michael Parsons. So he is getting a lot of work every single play, every single down that more defensive linemen on their squad are getting. I think this is a smart move by Micah, but sometimes you got to take your money. He does have a podcast that's doing really well. Maybe he's getting sponsorships here and there. So the money is still going to flow in anyway. But sometimes as players, the owners are going to do what they have to do to get you up out of there at a certain point. So take care of your money and do not care. Get your money by any means necessary, because eventually Michael Parsons You're going to get old. They're going to call you washed, and then they're going to let you go. That's the ending point, the ending goal at every single point. Doesn't matter how long you play. Eventually, they're going to say, LeBron, you're washed. They're starting to say it now. You know what I'm saying? So get your money while you can get your money and get up out of there while you can get out of there. But let's finish off with some college football playoff predictions, and then we can end our
only or the whole thing.
I'm gonna show you probably the whole bracket, and then you know what I'm saying. We can go quick on it. We don't have to elaborate too far on it. Let's see if we got the bracket here.
Game in 2 minutes. Right, Indiana, Notre Dame. Who do we got?
Okay, here we go. Here we go right here. So I'm taking Notre Dame. Notre Dame has been really good, and I'll take them to move on in versus Georgia. Next one, we got SMU against Penn State. Who you got in that one?
I want SMU. I think Penn State blows them out.
I think Penn State destroys them too. I think you should have put Alabama right there. They just have more cachet. That's me. Yes, it's a different era. It's a different time, and Alabama has taken some bad losses.
I would if it was Nick Saban led Alabama, I would agree with you. But those days are past.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, with all this money going around, it's just whoever has the most money, we're going to get the most directly watched. It just came down to that. Clemson versus Texas, Vance. You got in that one. Moving on to versus Arizona State.
So I'm on record with this one. Whoever makes that, I think my pick before the season was Ohio State, Texas in the championship. I think Texas wins close.
I think Texas gets the dub over that one, and versus Arizona State. Texas, Ohio State. They're all Ohio State guys. I'm gonna go with your guys, Ohio State. I think Tennessee.
Yeah,
Tennessee's very good though. Very good.
I'm gonna go with the Bucks too. They're at home. They're in Columbus.
Yeah, they are in Ohio.
One thing that scares me, and I learned this the hard way last year. We do not have a good record against the SEC. I think we're a lot better than them, though.
I think you are too. The name plate right there, Ohio State, said that you're better than them anyway. So there's not a lot of people that will probably be going for Tennessee, even though Tennessee is a very good team.
Well,
so let's spin back around. We said Notre Dame is going to move on and versus Georgia. Who do you have in that one against Notre Dame and Georgia?
I think Notre Dame could beat them if Carson Beck doesn't play, because Georgia's backup, I like him, but he's not as good as a starter.
So you going Notre Dame?
Georgia, I think Notre Dame if Carson Beck is not healthy. If Carson Beck's healthy, I'm picking Georgia, but I don't know yet.
The thing is, Carson Beck, we've seen Carson Beck turn over the ball in critical situations, in critical moments, and he has bad first halves. We've seen Beck have a lot of bad first halves and then have to come back and win. You're not going to be able to do that in the playoffs.
Yeah. Georgia's a better team. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. But I'm going to go with my Bulldogs. I like the Bulldogs to move on in this one and get to the championship and beat Notre Dame. So Vance with Notre Dame, Dino with Georgia.
That's right.
Okay. We got Penn State in this one by a blowout against SMU. They move on and versus Boise State. And the Heisman Trophy runner-up, Ashton Jeanty, who Vance felt that should have won the Heisman Trophy. Who do you have against Boise State and Penn State?
Boise State will be at home. I think Boise State wins close, potentially overtime.
Yeah. Well, it all comes down to, can you stop the Heisman Trophy runner-up? Can you stop Ashton Jeanty? And if you stop Ashton Jeanty, you can win this game. And as we've seen, game in and game out, even against a number one Oregon, nobody has been able to stop Boise State's Ashton Jeanty. So I got Ashton Jeanty moving on to the championship to versus Georgia, and you have them moving on to the championship to versus Notre Dame. Spin back around again, Texas We both had them to move on. You had them by close beating Clemson. Who will win this one, Texas or Arizona State, to move on?
Yeah, this is the one game for me. The reason Arizona State is ranked so high is because they won the Big 12. I think Texas blows their doors off. I really do.
I think Texas gets there too. They took a bad loss to get the bye week against Georgia, and that was a pretty close game. Yeah. Then we go up to the top. We got Ohio State moving on. Buckeyes against the Ducks. We got in this one.
So I'm on record with this. I said we lost to Oregon the first time, 32-31, and we're driving when we lost. I think we play them again. We beat them. I'm on record with that.
I know you got a lot of. I know you got a lot of hopes, Vance, for your team. But after that Michigan loss, there was a lot of things suspect. Michigan was definitely not the team they were in the national championship, and I think y'all should have ran them out of the park. Yes, that's a game. That's a game you really should have not even been close to losing and lost that game. So let's see in another big situation, can Ohio State beat the Ducks? But the Ducks have been great all season long. That's why they have not lost the game, and I don't think they will lose here.
I think the Ducks, I'm on record with that. I think the Ducks. I think we play them again and beat them. I don't know why. I just think we do.
Yes, sir. Okay, Vance goes with stays with his guys in Ohio State, and then Oregon. I got Oregon moving on. So for the championship, you have Oregon against Notre Dame to beat Georgia. Is it Notre Dame or yeah? You say Notre Dame.
Georgia wins. So, Georgia, Penn State, Ohio State.
I say Georgia. Yeah, I think Georgia.
Texas.
Yeah, I got Georgia, but you said Notre Dame to beat Georgia on our last when we talked about Notre Dame going up against Georgia.
I said Notre Dame close. I could go either way on that one.
Okay. I got Oregon beating Georgia for the championship. I got Boise. Arizona State's pretty good. They got they got a good running back who should have been in Heisman talks too.
You think Boise State beats Penn State?
I think Boise State beats Penn State. I think Boise State beats Penn State to go to championship and verse Texas.
What a
Texas
pick!
I think Texas beats Boise State though, and then the final is it 1-on-1 now between Georgia and Texas.
The final four would be Ohio State. Your final four would be Ohio State, Texas, Boise State, Georgia.
No, I said Oregon. So my final four would be Oregon, Georgia,
Texas, Georgia, Boise State.
Yeah. What is yours?
Ohio State, Texas, Georgia, Penn State.
I like it there. So I think that Oregon goes and wins the championship and they don't lose. I just think so.
You think they go 16-0?
I think they go 16-0. I think Oregon is just a better team. And it's going to state this, and this is another point I'm going to make. It's going to state this. If you have the most money available to you in the NIL to get the best players, your franchise will win almost all the time.
I don't want to give any Oregon fans nightmares. The last time Oregon and Ohio State played in a playoff matter, I don't know if you know what happened exactly.
Yeah, but this is a different Oregon against Ohio State. You know this. Ohio State, yes.
Here's the thing. I disagree. I disagree. That year, Oregon had the Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, they had Marcus Mariota probably, right?
He blew their doors off.
Yeah, but just like Colorado, you can have the best player, but doesn't mean that you have the best team. Colorado didn't even make the playoffs, and they had the Heisman Trophy winner. So that I don't think that comes into a big factor.
I'm looking at that. I'm just looking at history. They've beaten us twice. I get it. They beat us twice in the regular season. I get it. But we beat them when it mattered.
Yeah. And we'll see if y'all beat them when it matters. Ohio State. Let's see. Like I said, we all got. Yeah. Like I said, playoffs are tomorrow. We still have two more other games to we got two other games tomorrow.
Tonight.
Yeah, tonight.
Tomorrow.
And then we got NFL tomorrow too. We got Texas against the Chiefs, and then we got I think Ravens against the Steelers, right? Man, we got some good games on Saturday, and then we got some NFL back on Sunday. I will be up in DC at the stadium. Eagles versus the Commanders. It will be a cold one out there. Pray for you, boy.
We got 3 tomorrow. Tennessee, Ohio State at 8 p.m. 4 p.m. we got Clemson, Texas. And then noon tomorrow, first game, SMU, Penn State. So it's going to be a great weekend.
Great weekend. And we'll be on Sunday. We'll talk about these college playoff games and this Chiefs-Texans game and that Ravens-Steelers game on Sunday. Y'all tune in at 7 p.m. as that will be an electrifying live stream. And then after Sunday, we'll see all the playoff implications. We got Commanders versus Eagles. That has a lot of playoff implications. It's a lot of stuff going down when the Bengals make the playoffs. We got a lot of stuff going down this weekend, and it's starting to become playoff time, and it's starting to become that Super Bowl time, and it's already that national championship time. So let's lock in for these next 2 months, and then we got NBA and NBA playoffs should start to heat up, and then we can talk about some NBA. But shout out to y'all joining into the live stream, watching the live stream. Comment in the comment section after the stream. Comment in the comment section during the stream. Whenever you want it, we here with the facts, the sports facts. Keep tuning in to Inside the Lines. I thank y'all. God bless. All right, man.